Hello lovely ladies, welcome back to my channel. I'm Camille, your internet big sister, where personal growth meets leveling up in style with substance and soul at the center. For today's video, we're going to be talking about the importance of letting go in order to elevate. Now, I know I made a video about detachment, but for this one, I really want to talk about letting go because I find that when we let go of outcomes, scenarios, and ideas that we make up in our mind, it allows us to be in position to receive what is really meant for us. So it's almost like you're eliminating the garbage, the pollution, the anchors that are weighing you down, whether it's in friendships, relationships, even in business with your career, right? This brings me back to a time where when I was in my early 20s, I got fired from 4 different jobs because I thought that, well, if I just perform to the best of my abilities, if I keep going above and beyond, then these people will see my value and they'll want to keep me around. Well, lo and behold, I had to learn the hard way because the universe was like, Camille, you're not taking active steps to look for a better job. You're just choosing to stay there because you have this sense of control that you're holding on to. But actually what that does is it's setting you up to not receive what it is that I have for you. So therefore, I'm gonna get your boss to fire you. And hopefully you learn the lesson. Well, it took me 4 times to learn the lesson. And here I am at age 33, about to be 34, and it finally makes sense. All I had to do was to just let go and take active steps and measures to not only look for something better, but to make sure that I'm properly positioned. I don't even have a script for this video. I'm just going off of the dome here. So bear with me. So this was in, I would say, around 2023, where I was really starting to feel the weight and burden of the current job position that I was in at a workplace that was very, very toxic. Now, the HR in me is not going to release this company name, but what I can tell you is that each day that I went in, it just felt like my energy was being siphoned, and I knew that I deserved better, right? I had the credentials, I had the academic qualifications, and I had just graduated with distinction with my HR management certification because that's the field that I wanted to get into professionally. At this job, I really put myself out there. I volunteered for initiatives. I helped plan events. I would lead presentations to a board of governors. So already my skill set and my resume was already on par. I knew how to facilitate. I knew how to do public speaking. I knew how to talk to people. So how come I'm not in a better position? I deserve better. Now, instead of just sitting around hoping and praying that something better would come along, instead I broke a cycle. I said, you know what? I'm going to touch up my resume. I'm going to make sure all that information's updated, and I'm going to just put my resume out to different HR positions, and we'll see what happens. Now, I got some interviews. I didn't make the cut, but I didn't give up. I had a lot of trust. I had a lot of faith in myself, and I believed that, hey, I could land something better. Do you see what I did there? I said, trust, faith, and have belief. I wasn't using a scarcity mindset. I wasn't operating from a place of lack where I thought to myself, well, Camille, you're broke. Camille, you're never going to make it. Camille, you're not going to find the job that you want. No. I had to rewire and convince myself and my brain that better is going to come along. It's just a matter of time, but keep going. So eventually, your girl got a job offer. This was May of 2024, which was last year, and it was an HR position. So now I got my foot in the door, and all because of having trust, faith, and belief in myself, I was able to get into a better position in my job. It was an 8-month contract. I was successful in the position. And now fast forward to May 2025, I actually have a new job lined up that's with an even bigger company that is global, worldwide, and has a good reputation where not only am I doing HR, I can also grow and learn new skills in that position. So the lesson is this: letting go doesn't feel graceful. It's uncomfortable, it's confusing, and it can feel like a heartbreak, when in reality, it's alignment and it's a cleanse. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to say this with so much confidence, I'm not afraid of letting things go, whether it's a job, a friendship that's draining me, because I've had to do that with a couple of people in my life. Also in terms of certain relationships and even in business, I've had to say no to clients because the values that I have didn't align with them, right? But I knew deep down that, okay, if I say no to these people, then the yes is going to come. And so by me removing that, I'm setting myself up in position to receive what is for me. When the pandemic happened, I had accumulated a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes, a lot of designer items because I was very insecure and I defined myself by my things, and come to find out it actually wasn't bringing me joy. And so what I did was I set up a Poshmark account and I sold a lot of my clothes, my sneakers, my designer bags, and made a lot of money. Like, I'm talking in the thousands here, because I didn't have an attachment to those things. I had outgrown those parts of me. And I find that when I'm stagnant, that's a time for me to get rid of things that are not meant for me. So clothing items, books, even furniture, even clutter in my house, because I find that when I get rid of those things, when I declutter, that sets me up to get what it is that I require. Like last week, I just donated a couple of bags of clothes to Goodwill, or sometimes I'll give my old clothes to my friends and they'll wear those items. I've given makeup away. Like, I've had beauty brands send me PR that is really cute, but I have so much makeup as it is, so why not give it to my best friend? Like, a couple days ago, I gave some Maybelline lipsticks that I got in PR from Maybelline to my best friend, and she loves it. So why not have someone else more deserving have those things? Another thought came to my mind just now as I wrap up this video is that there's a movie called Back to the Future, and it's starring Michael J. Fox, and basically his character is Marty McFly. And he basically goes on this journey into the future where he gets a glimpse of what his life looks and feels like. And since he's getting a preview, he sees that his life in the future is chaotic. There's a lot of turmoil, all because he wanted a glimpse. So it's a 3-part franchise where you're going to see him go back and forth to the future and to the past to fix all of his mistakes, as opposed to just letting things flow and waiting in the unknown. Because I find that if you want a preview of what your life is going to look like, that's you believing and convincing yourself that you don't trust the outcomes, you don't trust yourself, you're relying on fear, scarcity, and that you don't have faith in yourself. I highly recommend you guys watch that movie because it's really quite eye-opening. And for me personally, I don't want a preview of what my life's gonna look like, whether in a month, next year, 5 years. I want to make sure that I'm making the right decisions and that I'm actively letting go and welcoming what is meant for me and what is not meant for me. And I can flex and say that I've been able to do that with such ease. And I hope and encourage that this video inspires you to do the same and to not be so attached. In order to get ahead, you have to be able to shred. We've been taught to believe that change and anything unfamiliar is a bad thing. So it makes me think about that a lot, where if we were afraid of change, we would have such boring lives. Because I find that when you're in unfamiliar territory, that's an opportunity for you to learn and gain something valuable and insightful, which is why I love going to events alone, and I love going to events and environments where I don't know anything. Because I know, as scary as that is, I'm always going to come out learning something, whether about someone or a new perspective. And that's going to give me the confidence and the drive to go out and seek using the knowledge and wisdom that someone else gave to me for free. And I allowed myself to let go in order to experience and feel that. And now, you guys, this is going to sound so crazy. I want to go on a solo trip to Japan. Yeah, that's right. I want to go on a solo trip to Japan, 3,000 miles away, plot myself in Tokyo, and be like, okay, where am I going? What are we going to do? Because that's going to force me to not only interact with people, but I get to be like Super Mario. I'm on a journey to discovery. Whatever that is, whatever that looks like, I know I'm going to find something, and I know that I'm going to fly back to my city from Japan having new knowledge, new information, and an entirely upgraded and elevated worldview. So please don't let fear make you comfortable. In order for you to receive what is meant for you, that requires you to surrender, that requires you to let go of overthinking, that requires you to let go of self-doubt, and it requires you to stop trying to force an outcome. Just release it. Matter of fact, here's an affirmation for you. I trust that letting go makes space for something better. So just know that your elevation is not just coming, it's already unfolding, but only if you decide to make space. Comment below your thoughts and see you in the next video.